Welcome back to Simply Carifying. This is episode 41. This is start of week 9. I'm not even going to get into it. We already know what a big feat that is. Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. New episodes release on YouTube, Pod, whatever. Like, yeah, you can find it. If you haven't found it by now, okay, it's pretty much around. So Facebook, Insta, TikTok, all that fun shit. So anyway, now that we found it, let's get into episode 41. It is what's for dinner. The most annoying question you could ever be asked or ask, and yet it's something that needs to be determined every fucking day. Now, for all of you meal preppers out there who know what you're going to eat like 3 months in advance, this is not for you. So if you want to take a break and step to the side, be my guest. This is for people who work, have kids, have a bunch of other questions throughout the day, and for some reason, this falls on you. Why? I don't know. Like, I don't even know who decided it should be this person in the relationship to be the one that controls dinner. It shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't, right? Because everyone needs to eat. So that's like, that's a no-brainer there. It's just that question. Nobody likes to be asked that question. No one likes to ask the question. And no one likes to fucking think of the answer. Let's be honest. It sucks. I mean, I don't even need to ask raise of hands because this is something that comes up in every mom group, every bitch session, every this, that, whatever. Like, my husband gets irritated when I ask him what he wants for dinner because they don't take it as you're being considerate. They think, oh my God, I've had to deal with work and all this shit. I really don't care. I don't care what's for dinner. Kids the same way. I don't know. I don't care. The only time they care is when you actually don't ask them. You make something that nobody likes. And then that's your fault. What the fuck? Like, there is no winning here, okay? So, couple little things that I've done to kind of bypass, which I mean, it never holds up, you know what I mean? But sometimes things go. Once upon a time, I made this giant wheel, okay? I used all of the normal meal, like all the repeat meals with a couple like rando ones sprinkled in there, right? This giant wheel. You're talking wedges like this. Hundreds of dinners on there, okay? I put a spinner on it. And so I let a kid or made a kid, however it was, I don't know, it was years ago, flick it, whatever it landed on, boom, done, that's what's for dinner. And I would do that for, a couple days, and I go buy ingredients for that shit specifically. So there are no mood changes. There are no, I take it back. Maybe instead no. The wheel decides, this is it, here we go. Okay. So that worked out, until it didn't. My kids took off with the wheel. I think one of them pulled the spinner off eventually. So it's like, okay. Grab bag. Next one. We write down all the dinners, some duplicates, because whatever. And then here's the deal. We take out, like we draw, right? And whatever's on there. All right. And then we set it aside so we're not like drawing the same thing 30 times in a row. So that was interesting. But even thinking of dinners to put on these little fucking pieces of paper, even that was annoying as shit. But I did it. You know what I mean? I did it. We had a nice little box, and it was a good little run. I would go to each member of my family, be like, pick one. Pick one, pick one, pick one. Even if they didn't like it, nope, it's on there. Okay. That was okay until, I don't even know what happened with that. I feel like there was 2 separate times where like 2 or 3 people drew the same fucking thing. And it's like, kill me now, but whatever. All right. So that was okay. When I moved here a couple years ago, I decided to just go straight. I wasn't going to ask anybody. Like, I was so over asking this question because I always got the, I don't know, I don't care, it doesn't matter, whatever you want. There are things that I cook that are not my favorite, but my family likes it. On the flip side, there are things that I make that I really like, and my family's like, eh. So if you tell me that it's up to me, I'm not going to think necessarily like, oh, okay, well, I can have this meal, and then, make something they really like once this month. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying. This whole thing is so fucking annoying. So at one point I went straight lunch lady. I printed out a calendar, whole month. A whole fucking month. And I sat there for like an hour. And I looked at the days to make sure that nothing double-crossed, nothing was too repetitive, and I wrote it out, the entire fucking month menu. Okay? I put down the ingredients that I needed, and then at the start of that week, I would go buy all the fucking ingredients for those dinners for that week, and that's what I did. I fucking mounted that bitch to the fridge, and anyone wanted to find out, you could see. You could see what we're having 2 Thursdays from now. We could see what we had last Saturday. Like, there it is, there it was. I did that for like 3 months, and then, you know, things took over, and you get overwhelmed, and it kind of gets brushed to the side because now you have more shit going on, whether it was sports or school shit or work or whatever the fuck. It just got pushed to the side. So that was probably my most effective way. But you have to, even just thinking of that hour to sit there to dedicate just to that is exhausting. So I know that it's like a weird thing, right? This whole thing is just a weird, oh, it's just dinner. If you say it's just dinner, you haven't had to get into this mental fucking circus, okay? Keep in mind, I've been married for almost 22 years this year. 22 years this year. Been with this man for 23 years. My oldest daughter is about to be 21 this year. So for over half my life, I've had to worry about other people eating this meal. Okay? If it was just me, who gives a fuck? You know? Like, I could grab something, I could order, whatever. Okay, but when you have 6 people in your family, you can't just DoorDash everything all the time. That's fucking expensive. And you don't really want to go full-on Brie Vandekamp 7-course meal because, no. I'm not one of those people that really like cooking for 2 hours just so everyone can sit together for 15 minutes, stuff their face, and then be gone. You know what I mean? That's like Thanksgiving. It's horrible. Horrible. There's no fucking reward. You spend all day. And then everyone gets together. That it seriously is like a... And then it's done. It's over. Nah. Next. Anyway. So, I put in here, why is the question, what's for dinner, so annoying and aggravating? Okay. What's for dinner is often considered the world's most annoying question. Go fucking figure. Because it triggers a collision of mental exhaustion and invisible labor at the end of a long day. Riddle me that. The frustration usually stems from these core psychological and social factors. Decision fatigue. After making hundreds of choices throughout the day, the brain reaches a state of choice overload. Yes, please, thank you. That's mine. All the time, all the time. Being asked to make one more decision, especially one with high stakes like feeding a family, feels like an impossible mental hurdle. Now, I know people who just, it's like, go make, or like, they have a staple of meals, like a handful of meals, and that's what it is all the time. I couldn't imagine that either, right? But it's like, they probably don't ask this question. You know, it's probably just everyone fends for themselves, and there you go. As long as you eat something and don't go to bed hungry, there you go. And if you're going to be an ass about it and you do go to bed hungry, well then that's your fault. All right. Next one. Invisible emotional labor. The person asked is rarely just providing a name of a dish. They are mentally auditing the fridge, checking for expired ingredients, calculating prep time, and accounting for everyone's preferences or dietary restrictions. So, this is what I do now, okay? I still have to ask the question. I try to ask it one day a week. Once a week. What I say is, I'm getting ready to go get groceries, I'm getting ready to order groceries, so here's the deal. We map out the week of meals. Usually I ask each kid, you know, at least the oldest 3, what do you want for dinner one day this week? Okay. I don't care what they say. One of them always says chicken sandwiches, spicy chicken sandwich. Fine. It's fine. Another one might say, I don't know, spaghetti. I don't, Alfredo with peppers or, you know, it doesn't matter. Whatever they say, I write it down. I will ask my husband sometimes. If he tells me something great, most of the time it's like, so it's like, okay, I'm on my own, and then I fill in the gaps, I go to the store or make the order, and then I have all those fucking ingredients. I put it on a whiteboard on my fucking fridge. These are the dinners we have. I don't give a fuck what order they go in. This is what we have, though. So, go ahead, take a look on the board. You can pick whoever tells me first, or if I go out, whatever sounds good to me, that's what we have. So the whole expired thing and like having to, I don't do that. Like, I don't just fucking not go to the store and it's like, oh, what sounds good? No, I don't play that game. But hey. Shifted responsibility. When someone asks, what's for dinner, without offering a suggestion, it can feel like they are dumping the entire burden of planning and execution onto the other person. Oh my God. We're just going to skip to the next one. Fear of criticism. Many cooks find it annoying because they know their answer might be met with complaints like picky eater resistance or the dreaded, I don't want that response. So, with my oldest being 20 and me being married for over 20 years, here's the deal. There are going to be meals, like I said, that I cook that I'm not necessarily a fan of. I'm either going to eat a very small portion of that, I'm going to cara it up, whether that's more cheese or extra this or something that, whatever. I will make it to where I like it. Or I just choose to maybe get something else that day, which is my choice if I'm fucking cooking it. Now here's the deal. If it's one of my kids or my husband that doesn't like it, I'm not a fucking short order cook. This is not Waffle House. I am not going to be like, okay, what's your order, hun? And you want, and you want, and you want. No, I'm not making 17 fucking dinners because somebody or some people don't like what I'm fucking making. If you don't like what I'm making, we've got plenty of other food. Help yourself, darling. Go out there and make whatever the fuck you want. Because I don't care. Or, I mean, I'm past the point of like, aside from my youngest, okay? I'm past the point of upping my blood pressure being like, finish your food. Or take one, you better eat all that. I don't. They are old enough and like, mature enough where I'm not going to poison you. I'm not going to eat you something that physically makes you retch. So like, you know that what I'm making is edible, okay? You know that everyone else is eating it. So you can either choose to, like me, kind of make it how you need to make it. Put on your hot sauce or this, that, whatever. Like, make it yours to make it, good for you. Or like, sidestep and go make yourself something small. I don't even know. Like, there's too many people in here. I'm never going to make something that's everyone's all-time fucking favorite. Like, it's just not, the odds are not in my favor. Okay? So, I don't take that personally. I go in there, I make the dinner, or now, not always. There are some meals that my daughters will make, and that's great. And there are some meals where I'm like, hey, I got burgers. That's my husband's deal. Or, hey, I got steak. Hey, I got, if we want to do hibachi stuff, whatever. I'm not the only one that's in there fucking gordoning it up all the time. Let's just make that clear. Because if I could, I swear I've said this so many times, but if I could have a pantry full of Willy Wonka's dinner gum, where it's just like, you take a stick and then, you get your 7-course meal. If I could do that shit, motherfucker, I would buy every goddamn flavor pack he had to offer and be like, hey, go pick a stick. Go pick a stick. Enjoy. Yeah. Yeah. If someone told me I could never cook again, I would not cry about it at all. I wouldn't be sad in the slightest at all. At all. So next says the relentlessness of the task. Unlike other chores, dinner happens every single day. The eternal nature of the question makes it feel like a horrible clock ticking down that never fucking stops, because it doesn't. Right? How many dinners? 365 days in the year, 22 years. That's a lot of fucking dinners. You know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's do that math. I will definitely. Alright, so let's just say, for giggles, 365 times 22 years. Holy mother F. That is 8,000. And 30 times someone has had to ask, what do you want for dinner? 8,000 times, and I'm nowhere near done asking. I've got at least, I don't even know how many more thousands of times to ask. Ooh. It's all right. It's all right. You know what I'm having for dinner tonight? Burgers? Maybe? They're on the list. So yeah, I'm thinking burgers. Yeah. Okay. How to make it less annoying. Okay. Use categories. Simplify by assigning themes like Taco Tuesday or Pasta Night so the decision is already half made. You'd have to have like a every other Taco Tuesday. I don't know. Yeah, I know people that do that, but yeah. Meal planning. Creating a weekly menu. Can stop the daily debate before it starts. That's what I try to do. The 2-option rule. Instead of asking an open-ended question, ask, do you want Mexican or Italian tonight? To reduce the mental load. That's pretty much, okay, so that's kind of both. You know, I do the create the menu for the week, and if someone's like, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know, go look on the board, pick something. That's what we got. You know, that's what it is. Shared responsibility. If you're the one asking, try to include a contribution, such as, what's for dinner? I'm happy to go to the store for the ingredients. Nope, not the day of. Nope, definitely not. Oh, so I don't know. Maybe, I know I'm not alone in this. So just know that if you're sitting there looking in your fridge, looking in your pantry, thinking again for the 8,032nd time, what's for dinner tonight? What do we want to eat? You're not alone, honey. You are so not alone. And you heard it. You heard it right here. This is the most annoying question. The most annoying question. It's right up there with, how are you? Are you good? For the 39th time. Like, yeah. Okay. So, if that triggered anyone, I'm sorry. Okay. You don't have to decide right now what's for dinner. This releases at 3 p.m. So you got some time, a little bit of time. And you know, if you don't want to cook or whatever, you pull up an app and you're just like, and whatever it lands on, just go for it. Sometimes that's good. Like taking a trip, you know, throwing a dart at the map. Sometimes it's just good to be surprised. I mean, that would probably stress me out more, honestly, but yeah. So anyway, I've tried to give you a little bit of tips to clean it up and help you out and try to bring in the stress factor of it, but we will see how this goes. If you have any dinner ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments though, because then people who watch or come by, they'll have ideas themselves. You know what I mean? My friend does that. If I'll tell her what I'm having for dinner this week, she'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So, as long as we can help each other out and stay fucking sane as long as we can. That's all that's important. So, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been episode 41, week 9 of this show. And so, it's going great, guys. It's going great. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time. And for the love of God, I will not ask you again, what's for dinner? Oh, burgers?